Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something you probably see, maybe interact with, every single day. Instagram captions.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? So much effort goes into the perfect photo or video.
Right, and then the caption sometimes feels like an afterthought. But honestly, it's this huge, often missed chance to actually spark conversation and, grow your audience.
It really is.
And speaking of growth, quick mention, if you are looking for ways to give your social media profiles a bit of a push, you might want to check out a site like rapidboost.net. They've got various tools for that.
That's a no.
But yeah, today our mission is clear. We've dug into the research, the expert advice, to pull out the actionable secrets for you. How to write Instagram captions that don't just sit there, but actually work to boost your engagement.
Because, let's face it, Instagram is crowded. Billions of users. A great visual gets you noticed, sure, but it's often the caption that makes people stick around, that pulls them in.
Exactly. So get ready. We're going to unpack why these captions matter so much, what engagement even means on Instagram today, the anatomy of a really effective caption.
We'll look at expert techniques too, right, to get more interaction.
Absolutely. Pro techniques, some of the psychology behind it all, and then a practical blueprint you can use to craft your own captions. Okay, let's dive in.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So why do they matter so much? You touched on it, but maybe we can elaborate.
Well, our sources really hammer this home.
No.
A good caption is what stops the mindless scroll. You know the one?
Oh, yeah. Thumb autopilot.
Exactly. It turns that passive glance into potentially active engagement, a real conversation.
Right.
And it adds context, emotion, things a picture alone can't always get across.
And there's data on this, isn't there?
There is. Sprout Social found that posts with, quote, effective captions can see up to 23% more engagement. That's pretty significant.
About 23%. That really makes you stop and think, what is an effective caption, though?
That's what we're digging into. Smart brands get this. They use captions to actually join conversations, not just shout into the void. Makes them more visible, more memorable.
And engagement itself,
Yeah.
it's not just likes anymore, is it?
Not at all. When we talk engagement, we mean likes, yes, but also comments, which are huge shares, saves, or bookmarks, DMs, even dwell time.
Dwell time, how long someone actually pauses on your post.
Right. The algorithm sees all of this. More interaction tells Instagram, hey, people like this, show it to more people. It helps you reach beyond your followers onto the Explore page, maybe.
And you mentioned comments are particularly golden.
Yeah, the sources emphasize that. Comments signal a higher level of investment from the user. It shows they stopped, thought, and interacted in a more meaningful way. The algorithm loves that.
It makes sense. It indicates a conversation is happening.
Totally. And there's a great case study, Rebecca Minkoff, the fashion designer.
Oh, yeah. What does she do?
Apparently, she started ending her captions with like really engaging questions or bold statements.
No.
Just changed the end part. A 37% increase in comments in 1 month. No change to pictures or how often she posted, just the captions.
Wow. Okay, that really proves the point, doesn't it? A simple tweak with a big impact.
It does. It shows you're writing for your followers, yes, but you're also kind of feeding the algorithm what it wants, which is interaction.
So you're writing for people and the machine, in a way.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get why captions matter. We know what engagement looks like. Let's get practical. What actually goes into a high engagement caption? What's the structure?
Right, the anatomy of it.
Yeah.
Our sources break it down. First things first, the opening. That first line, maybe two.
Why is that so critical?
Because on the feed, Instagram cuts off the caption. You usually only see those first couple of lines before you have to tap see more. So that opening has to be a hook, a real attention grabber.
Like a headline for your post.
Exactly like a headline. It needs to make someone pause that scroll and want to know the rest.
Okay, so what kind of openings work? Give us some examples.
Well, you could go bold. A strong statement, maybe something a bit controversial or counterintuitive, like instead of beautiful sunset, maybe sunsets are overrated. Here's why. Just something to jolt them.
Ah, okay, I see. Provocative.
Or a direct question. Something that makes them think, what is my answer to that? Like, what's the one piece of advice you wish you'd gotten sooner?
Ooh, I like that. Engages immediately.
Or even a surprising fact, something intriguing related to the image. Did you know this flower only blooms for 24 hours? Anything to pique curiosity.
Got it. Stop the scroll at that initial hook. Okay, hooked them. What's next?
Then let your personality shine through. Your brand voice? Are you funny? Inspirational? Super technical? Whatever it is, be consistent.
Why consistency?
It builds trust, recognition. People start to know what to expect from you, your voice. It makes your content feel familiar and reliable.
Right, like finding a friend in the feed. Okay, personality, what else?
Value. This is key. Don't just say what's in the photo. Tell the story behind it. Explain the why. Offer a tip, an insight.
Give an example.
Okay, say you post a photo of a beach instead of beach day, maybe. Found this hidden cove after a sweaty hour-long hike. Totally worth the climb for this view and zero crowds. Tip, go early. See, context, effort, a little tip adds value.
Yeah, much more engaging. It brings a viewer into the experience. Okay, hook, personality, value. What's the final piece?
The call to action,
Yeah.
the CTA. You got to tell people what you want them to do next.
Don't leave them hanging.
Exactly. Don't just assume they'll comment or like. Ask them, what do you think? Share your experience below. Double tap if you agree. Save this post for later. Tag someone who needs this.
Be direct.
Be direct, be clear. Make it easy for them to engage. People often respond well to that clear guidance.
Okay, that makes a solid foundation. Hook, personality, value, CTA. Now let's get into some more advanced stuff. The expert techniques our sources mention to really, supercharge the engagement.
Yeah, let's get into those. One big one is injecting relatability and real emotion. Authenticity connects.
So less polish, more real.
Sometimes, yeah. Share the behind the scenes, the little imperfections, the real thoughts. Our sources had a good example. A wedding planner sharing a photo of a minor floral mishap with a caption like, "Reports that even wedding planners have moments of panic. Anyone else relate to things not going exactly to plan?"
That vulnerability makes them human.
Totally. It lowers the barrier, makes the brand feel more approachable than just showing endless perfection.
I like that. What other techniques?
Using storytelling structures,
Yeah.
even in a short caption. Think, problem, maybe a little suspense, then resolution or insight.
Like a mini story arc.
Exactly. It pulls people in emotionally. They get invested in the little narrative you're creating. It makes them more likely to comment because they've followed along.
Okay, turning captions into mini stories. Cool. And we talked about questions earlier, but there's a nuance there, right?
Yes, definitely. Ask open-ended questions. Not just yes, no. You want to encourage real thoughts, opinions, stories. Instead of, did you like this? Try, what was your biggest takeaway from this experience? Or, let's settle this. Best coffee brewing method and why?
Get them talking, sharing their perspective.
Precisely. Spark actual conversation, not just one-word answers.
Got it. What else do the pros do?
Always add value. Leave the reader with something, a tip, an insight, a laugh. A fitness brand could post a workout video and caption it with a common mistake to avoid, or a funny observation about gym fails. Give them a reason to feel good about stopping to read.
A little takeaway. Makes sense. And hashtags. Mentions.
Use them strategically. Don't just spam 30 generic ones. Pick maybe 3 to 5 really relevant, specific hashtags. Think niche. And definitely mention or tag anyone relevant collaborators, the location, other brands. It increases visibility in the right places.
Quality over quantity for hashtags. Noted. What about caption length? Does longer mean better?
It's interesting. Later.com found longer captions, like over 100 words, can get more comments. But, and this is a big no, but only if they're packed with value and genuinely engaging all the way through.
So not long for the sake of being long.
Absolutely not. Don't ramble. Every word needs to earn its place. But if you have a good story or valuable insight, don't be afraid to go a bit longer.
Okay. And finally, making it easy to read.
Crucial. Formatting matters. Break up big blocks of text. Use white space, like hitting return for new paragraphs. Emojis can add personality and break things up visually. Bullet points or numbered lists are great for tips. Maybe bolding key phrases or using all CCAPES very sparingly for emphasis.
Make it scannable.
Exactly. Make it inviting to the eye, not a wall and text they'll just skip.
These are great, really practical techniques. Now, let's dig a bit deeper into the why behind some of this, the psychology. Our sources mention specific triggers.
Yeah, this is fascinating stuff. Understanding why people engage can help you craft better captions. One big trigger is curiosity.
Leaving them wanting more.
Kind of. You tease information. Like, the biggest mistake I made starting my business. I'll share in my stories later today. Or, there are 3 keys to this. Can you guess the most important one? Creates an itch they need to scratch.
Ooh, the information gap. Clever. What else?
Social proof. People are influenced by what others are doing. So highlight your community, share user photos, mention positive comments, talk about how many people loved a previous post.
Show, don't just tell, that people are engaging.
Right. Captions like, "So many of you asked about this after my last post," or "Loving all the amazing photos you're tagging us in. Keep them coming." It validates the content and encourages others to join in.
Okay, leverage the crowd. What about FOMO? Fear of missing out.
Ah, FOMO, a classic. Create urgency or exclusivity. Last chance to grab this discount. Only 5 spots left for the workshop. Exclusive tip just for my followers today. Taps into that feeling of not wanting to be left out.
Use it sparingly, I imagine.
Definitely. Don't overdo it or it loses its power. But be used well, it's effective.
Okay. And the last one was reciprocity.
Yeah, the idea that if you give something, people feel inclined to give back. Offer value up front, freely. Free tips, answer questions and comments, run a small, fun poll or mini giveaway.
Like, ask me anything about topic below, I'll answer the first 5.
Exactly that kind of thing. Our sources mentioned a photographer, Jonathan, who apparently doubled his comments by using cliffhanger captions and offering a print to the best comment. Give first, then engagement often follows.
Wow. So it's about understanding those human drive. Okay, we got the theory, the techniques, the psychology. How do we put it all together? The sources laid out a blueprint, right?
They did. A step-by-step process. Step 1, start with intention. What's the goal of this specific caption? To educate, inspire, entertain, drive traffic, know your why before you write.
Define the objective. Got it. Step 2.
Craft that magnetic first line. We talked about this. Make it hook 'em immediately. Think of it as your headline.
Nail a hook. Step 3.
Share value or a story. Build on that hook. Give them the context, the anecdote, the tip, the insight, the meat of the caption.
Deliver the goods. Step 4.
Invite interaction, the CTA. Ask that open-ended question, prompt the save, suggest the tag, tell them what to do next.
Be explicit about engagement. Step 5.
Optimize readability, formatting, spacing, emojis, bullets. Make it easy and pleasant to read.
Don't scare them off with text walls. Step 6.
Review and refine. Read it aloud. Seriously, it helps catch awkward phrasing or errors. Does it sound like you? Is the message clear? Is the CTA there?
Polish it up. And the final step, super important for improvement.
Analyze and adapt. Use your Instagram insights. See what's working, which captions get comments, which drive saves. Look for patterns. What resonates with your audience?
Learn from your data.
Exactly. The sources even suggest keeping, like a swipe file or a document of your best performing captions. See what they have in common and reuse those successful elements.
Build your own best practices library.
I love that. Okay, let's make this even more concrete. The sources had some real-world examples.
Yeah, let's break one down. A fitness coach. Opening question. What's your go-to strategy for staying motivated on Mondays? Instantly engaging. Okay, good hook.
Body shares the coach's own relatable struggle and tip, then asks followers to share their tips and comments, promising to feature some. Value.
Yeah.
Relatable, community building, incentivized engagement.
Nice. Connects, asks, offers something back. What about, say, a food business?
Example from a bakery. Opening. Behind every perfect pastry, there's a little bit of chaos. Intriguing, relatable.
Humanizes the brand.
Right. Body tells a quick, funny story about a kitchen mess-up, then asks, anyone else have kitchen fails to share? Value. Vulnerability, humor, connection, open-ended question.
Gets people sharing their own stories. Great. One more. Maybe a personal brand.
Okay, photographer example, opening. Here's a truth bomb. Not every photo shoot goes according to plan. Bold statement creates curiosity.
Yeah, definitely makes you want to know more.
Body hints at a recent challenge, maybe promises the full story later, then asks followers to share their own behind-the-scenes struggles in the comments. Value. Vulnerability again, curiosity. Direct CTA for interaction.
Yeah, you can really see the principles at work in those. Okay, this is all great, but writing killer captions consistently takes time. Any tools or tips to make it easier?
For sure. Tools like Grammarly or the Hemingway app are great for just checking clarity and grammar quickly.
Catch those typos before you hit post.
Exactly. And scheduling tools like Later or Buffer let you plan content out, write captions in batches, even test different versions. A/B testing captions can be really insightful.
See what actually performs better.
Yep. And don't forget, Instagram Insights itself, it's free and tells you so much about what's working.
And that idea of a caption bank.
Yeah, that's a great productivity tip. Keep a running document, maybe in Google Docs or Notes with reusable elements, strong opening lines you liked, effective CTAs, question prompts that worked well, little story frameworks.
So you're not starting from scratch every single time.
Precisely. You can mix and match, adapt them. Saves time and helps maintain consistency.
Brilliant. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's boil it down. What are the absolute key takeaways for writing better Instagram captions?
Okay, I'd say 1, hook 'em fast with that first line. 2, let your personality shine through. 3, always provide value story, tips, insights. 4, end with a clear call to action. 5, Make it easy to read with good formatting. 6. Use those expert techniques like relatability and storytelling. And 7. Analyze what works for your audience and adapt.
It really feels like captions are almost like a digital handshake, aren't they? A way to build real connection beyond just the visuals.
That's a great way to put it. It's where the conversation happens.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Looking at all these techniques and ideas, which one feels like something you could implement, like right now in your next post? And maybe more broadly, how could really focusing on genuine connection through your captions change your whole experience on social media? It's shifting from broadcasting to conversing. Food for thought. Thanks for diving deep with us today.